Let's talk forensics. This is a book called The Law of Forensics in Uganda, a proof beyond the shadow of doubt. I think some of you are probably familiar with the statement, if the gloves don't fit, you must acquit. That statement was said by the great attorney during the O.J. Simpson trial, the trial of the century, Johnny Cochran, who said, if the gloves don't fit, you must acquit. The idea is that forensic law can actually be able to pin you to the scene of the crime because it involves a lot of things that have to do with the scientific evidence. I think it's probably the most important element in the law of evidence for purposes of collecting evidence in terms of pinning or incriminating someone who has actually committed a crime to a tune of probably about 90.9999% or 99.999% or even 100%. Listen, everything is a self-portrait. It's a diary. The whole drug history, for example, can actually be traced even in your hair, strand, or even your fingernails, or in terms of the linings of your stomach, or even particularly even your scent. So forensic law has that element, or that ability to be able to tune or to incriminate someone to the level of finding proof beyond the shadow of doubt, if I may borrow those words. And even your accent, your wrinkles around your mouth, your eyes, everything has that ability to be able to pin you to the crime. So when you appreciate this book, you're going to find some of these answers. And listen, our country has several occasions been able to fail to solve some of these debacles or challenges or dilemmas that have actually been occurring in our country. How many times do you see unwielded border sagas, or people who come with machine guns and kill people, and then they run away, and then the poison sagas? How many generals have we seen who have actually fallen victim of such issues? You may have a friend who may have gone through such challenges. The question is, do we have the law, do we have the jurisprudence that can be able to pin you to that kind of evidence? And that's the point we're trying to say, because in criminal law, the presumption is that the proof might be beyond reasonable doubt. So here we have this book that lays down that foundation in terms of giving you those elements, because we talk about the different appreciations in terms of DNA, for example, aspects to do with the origins of the use of DNA, instances to do with the principle of analysis, PCR tests, STR tests, aspects to do with the doctors and the law, aspects to do with the burden of proof, legal parties in terms of classification, evidence in terms of chain evidence, a procedure in terms of obtaining information from the scene of a crime. We don't have to go to Scotland Yard every now and then to get their expertise. We can do the thing in our country. So this is a resounding, again, appeal to the jurists of this country, or people who are interested in jurisprudence, including all the institutions that would actually carry out or enforce legality in the law in terms of our country, to have the chance of looking at some of these materials that are relevant in terms of handling criminal law, or in terms of forensic law, as it were. So my argument is actually forensic law should actually be one of those core subjects, perhaps, that should be taught in the law schools for purposes of demystifying this component, because it will give us the emphasis of trying to emphasize that we read away with doubts when it comes to evidence and procuring evidence in terms of affirming whether or not someone has actually committed a crime or not. So find this at lubogo.org or suegeneslawup.com and be blessed. It's an incredible book. It's quite big, and it's available there. So God bless you, and thank you for your attention. If the gloves do not fit, you must acquit. Remember that.